The brewery, I set up the brewery in my garage about a year and a half ago. I was brewing there for about 6 months, just solely supplying this pub. And about a year ago I moved down here. Dave let me have the basement here. So I got a big new kit and I moved in. So I've been brewing here for just about a year now. So yeah, just going steady. Yeah, and it's going well. Yes, it's a full. I actually work in London 2 days a week, but when I started this, I actually gave up my job and started another job. That didn't work out, and then I started this up. So I actually started up on my own. Then I got someone to actually work for me doing the brewing, allowed me to go back to my job in London. So I still work in London 2 days a week, but I still actually work full time for them. But I work from home. I'm supposed to be at work now, but obviously I now have 4 people employed for me doing this side of stuff. So it's yeah, it's good fun. I used to run a bar in London at a tennis club. Basically, I just got into relay that way, and then I started making my own beer, home brew at home. I moved up here, I got a garage, which means I could actually start doing it properly. So yeah, I was just messing about in the house, doing stuff, trying beer out with my friends. I thought I'd give it a go. I enjoy the brewing most of all because it's actually very good fun just making beer. Obviously the tasting, but the business side of stuff's the pain side of it. So actually the selling's the worst part because there's so many breweries out there now. It's actually just ringing up, doing cold calling, that's a pain. But actually seeing your beer being served and actually seeing other people ordering your beer is a really nice point as well. Probably in a slightly weird situation in the fact that I am not bothered about this getting absolutely massive. I'm not driving it. I'm not going to say I really want to expand. I've got an opportunity potentially to move to a building up the road, a bigger building, but I'd have to pay rent. I'd have to do various other things. I like being where I am. I like employing the 4 people and the costs are covered. I make a little bit of money, not loads of money, but I don't need to make loads of money out of it. So I don't want to take on the world. I want it to be something where I can change the recipe as I want. We can do new things, but just also be a part of what's going on down here and a part of what's going on in Newcastle as well. Everyone now wants local stuff, and no one wants mass-produced stuff if they can, when they're talking about food or drink, because no one wants the same stuff all the time. People want variety, and people want variety in the stuff that I do as well. They don't just want the same old stuff. That's why I keep doing 1 or 2 new brews a month. Because people to get bored of the same thing. Not many people now will just drink the same. There's a lot of people that do, but there's a lot of people that want new and different stuff and prepared to try different stuff. I'm potentially prepared to pay a bit more for that as well. Well, it's always shit, and there's some things that will not get right at first, but we can improve, we can make things better. But we're experimental, and people like that because you're not just. I don't have to appeal to the mass market, which is obviously as soon as you get to any size, you do have to start appealing to the mass market because you have to make sure you get your sales in to cover your costs. It actually hasn't. It has affected me slightly, but because I'm a small brewery, I only pay half the duty that a big brewery pay. So effectively, the rate of increase for them is double. So the cost of an average firkin of beer, which is a barrel of beer, has gone up by £1. Now I pass that £1 on to my buyers. Yeah, now everyone I've asked so far is willing to take that because they know it's not my fault that the budget's gone up. So effectively what's going to end up happening is that will get passed on to the consumer. But if you're a bigger brewer, it means that you're putting for a double size increase. So instead of £1 a firkin, it'll be £2 a firkin. So what will happen is that the bigger the brewery are, the longer this continues, the more expensive their beer will become, the cheaper the local breweries with smaller capacity only pay half duty will become. So effectively it's making it better for us, worse for the bigger brewers, where eventually it will catch up and the big brewers will end up, if it keeps going the way it is, they just won't be able to afford to keep going because their demand is already dropping anyway because they're not local, and if their costs are spiralling much more than mine, it's going to be very hard for them. I mean, they have economies of scale I will never be able to get, so their product costs should be actually lower apart from the duty. So it balances it out, but it's not good for anyone putting the price up apart from the government. But for me as a small business, I can pass that on to most customers. Some customers won't, so I have to swallow that. But to me, £1 a firkin is not make or break. Yeah. But obviously, if it's £1 every year and it goes up for the next 5 years, and people aren't prepared to pay more, well, it could get tough. I mean, the funny thing with beer is all beer is pretty similar. Yeah, right. There's different things you can do. You can change colour, you can change hops, you can do various different things. And people just want something new and different that they haven't tried before. I mean, obviously, what you're trying to aim is to get a level of consistency in your production. Isn't always easy on a plant that's hand run by people rather than machines, because obviously the bigger you get, it's run by machines. You know exactly what you're doing. You can measure everything. So with my beer, there's always potentially going to be some variation, small variation in it, but it's made by real people and made locally and doesn't travel very far, and it's helped and support the local community by employing people.